So I've got a sword, I can take on these mace guys. If I take my gun out, watch what happens. He will go after the people with melee weapons, with maces, because they're going to try and hit me. So if we take that, for example, I start aiming my gun, my dog's off, I take out the guy in the distance, the dog delays and kills, oh, you bastard, hurt my dog, delays those two people which would have been running up to me and would have been able to hit me. Unfortunately, now, oops, need to do that. Unfortunately now, we've set the dog's health very low, because I wanted to show one other feature of the dog, is that he's hurt now. Now, you may be thinking, the last thing I want is a bloody puffball dog following me around the whole time. So you are completely at liberty to do this. And that is just walk away, man. Leave your dog to suffer as he drags his bloodied body towards you. And you can go halfway across the world. Your dog will absolutely do everything. He loves you so much, he'll take that fantastic voyage. He'll spend the weeks necessary to drag himself to your feet again. So there's this wonderful moment, and this is what I'm talking about, the emotion. This wonderful moment, you may have got rid of that dog. An hour of gameplay later, you may be in a pub somewhere, and you'll just hear a scratching on the door. And someone will open the pub door, and this bloodied, you know, horrible, matted, furred thing will crawl itself in on its remaining paw. And the whole pub will turn around and go, oh my God, what unspeakably evil person would treat a dog like that? And that's you. And that is you caring about something. And there's not many people that have the guts to do that. And this is why he's so important. Sure enough, he's important on gameplay. There are new, unique things that this dog will do for you that no other game character has ever done. But the real thing he does for you is he makes you care about him. And once you care, I have got you. I've got you, and I can give you that dramatic moment. And that's what I intend to do with this dog. And that's why he's worthy of the whole of this press talk. Because everyone talks about drama in computer games, and everyone talks about, you know, story and stuff like that. They're wrong. They're wrong. What they're really talking about is emotion. Every film has a story. Every book has a story. It's not the story, it's the emotion it instills in you. And I want you to feel what it's like to be loved by that dog. That dog cares so much about you. When we do weave him in the story, it's going to be dramatic. And we are going to give you situations where you will walk away from that computer game and you will feel moved. I can promise you, you will. And that's what we want. And that's going to give you a Final Fantasy VII. Any questions about the dog? No, you don't have to. Your dog is very well trained. He won't, unless we deem it to be an amusing situation, he won't dirty. Evil dogs do occasionally piss on the dead bodies of your enemies for dramatic purposes. His behaviour in towns, he won't ever embarrass you. I mean, there are occasions where he pushed that a little bit. But if you're in a town, he heals right by the side of you. He's not running off in the distance. He walks like a sheepdog right beside you. If you go into a shop, he'll sit outside. He is ultra concerned about what you think about him. That's what makes him so unique, is his behaviour and his control is dictated by the world, what you're doing, what your condition is. For example, if you're not fully healed, he'll stick much closer to you. If you're fully healed or pushed out. So you are controlling the dog indirectly by what you're doing in the world itself. Any other questions? He does age. He also completely morphs, as I said. You can end up, you can feed him, but you're not responsible for feeding him. Or he can go off and catch a rabbit better than you can. So you are responsible, but you can overfeed him. You can give him too many treats, and he can end up fat and waddly. It's very embarrassing. Actually, a lot more embarrassing, interestingly, than you being fat. But it's a funny thing. Any other questions?
Well, when it ages, a dog's life is considerably shorter than a human's.
Yeah, we've stretched reality a little bit.
So you say everyone's dog's going to be different. Are we going to start out with the exact same?
The start of this game when you get the dog is fantastic. I don't mind spoiling this one moment for you. But what we don't do, when we give you the dog, there's no big arrows going like that, saying this is a dog. You're playing the game when we started as a kid. And I hope some people play the game without realising there's going to be a dog in it. And you'll notice that this dog just keeps following you. And it just follows you, and it gets closer to you, and that's the moment that you start, that bond starts when you're a little kid. You don't choose the breed. The breed is chosen by your alignment. He'll gradually change into a more Doberman like cat. Although this is not an announcement, we would be foolish, wouldn't we, not to consider a download to do with dogs. Yes. Okay. Good point. Any last questions on the doggy? I've got a little bit more to show, and that's a very, very quick fly-through of the Fable world. It's literally as it stands at the moment. This is not doctored footage at all. I don't think many developers would show a game in this state. Please bear in mind this is all work in progress, but I wanted to just show some of the stuff that's going on, because, you know, I love doing that. So let's have a quick look at this. So this is, what you see here is the new Bowerstone. Bowerstone is a small town in Fable 1. It's now turned into a huge city 500 years further on. This is the age of more to do with highwaymen, guns and horses and carriages than it is to do with heroes. And this city is interesting. There's some interesting gameplay in the city. There are jobs, how you can earn money. There's also ownership. There's other morphs in Fable 2. We have kindness and cruelty, and we have wealth as another morph. And what can you do with this wealth? Again, this is something that pisses me off in games, is you're not able to do the thing I want to do. And what I want to do is I want to be rich. I want to have a huge room full of gold that I can run my fingers through. That would make me feel good. And you can be rich. One of the ways to become rich is by owning things. So you see all these houses here? You can buy them. Every single one of them, including that castle on the hill. In fact, if we go on a little bit further, you see this stand here? You can buy that, and you know, it can be a little trading post. You can move your family in here. You can buy this pub here. Any of these places you can own. When you buy something, every single structure or type of structure has got little quests associated with them. So, for example, with here, there may be a quest to go and find rare items that you can sell. With a house, there may be a quest to do. Maybe someone asks to live in your house and asks them to be rent-free. We've got a complete economy working here. Depending on what you do with your ownership, will change the economy of this place here. And this is every building in the whole of Albion. So eventually, you can be known as Mayor of Bowerstone because you own it all. And then you can be King of Bowerstone or even Emperor of Bowerstone. And we've got loads of very interesting things going on. Like if you own the temple and the castle, you get other quests. On the flowers. This is one of the merchant streets. There's quite a few merchant streets in Bowerstone. There's also the slums district and the rich district. This is more outside, more to do with the outside world. I'm not terribly happy with the look of this at the moment, but I think you've got a long way to go on the look and the lighting and the quality of what's there, but it just gives you a snapshot of what Fable 2 is beginning to look like. Still very, very early. Any final questions? Pausing on Fable